Got another super chat. This one is from DMV Pride 10. Thank you for the super chat, DMV Pride 10. Greatly appreciate you. DMV Pride 10 writes, I'm feeling the Alabama style fit with the numbers on the helmet. I'm all for the front office taking their time with this process. You know, it doesn't look all that bad, and I wasn't expecting it to look bad at all. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at the jerseys right now. I think this is a good time right now to take a look at the uniforms. And so what you see in front of you are all of the uniform, all of the jerseys. And so the ones on the outside that you see, these are all uniforms that the Washington football team photoshopped on their website. So this is what they envision the jerseys looking like for the upcoming season. So again, all they did was pretty much Photoshop the jerseys from last year. The colors slightly varied. They look relatively on par with what we've seen from this team in the past from a color standpoint. But the helmets have all been altered to show the numbers on the side of the helmet. Now, here's the interesting piece of this. This is the question I have when we start talking uniforms. So you see with the burgundy uniforms that the numbers on the side are yellow. And then when the jersey is white, when the tops are white, the number on the side of the helmet is also white. Is that going to vary with the tops? If it's a burgundy top, numbers are then yellow or burgundy or gold, or is that going to be universal? No matter what, the numbers are always going to be yellow, or if the tops are white, the numbers are also additionally white. That's something to look at. You know, but the thing that I find the most interesting, and you look at the picture, and that's the prototype, the one you see in the middle, is the one that has been making its rounds on socials. Adam Schefter threw it into his tweet, and he had the big bombshell tweet today in terms of dropping the name of Washington football team. And he had the story on ESPN.com about how the uniform is going to stay the same in terms of the color scheme, but the numbers are going to be on the side of the helmet. And so this was the picture, and there was a little bit of a video. I'm pretty sure most of you have seen it. And it's just this picture that you see in front of you, and then a model of the picture from behind with the name on the back. And then the white jersey, same deal. Burgundy bottoms, white tops, same deal. But the interesting piece here, and this is the thing that I'm not quite sure of, because, again, photoshopping is tough. You know, there's only so much you can do when you Photoshop. So my real question then becomes, that jersey that you see being sported by Dwayne Haskins, or at least the prototype that's being sported by a mechanical Dwayne Haskins, is a lot darker than the ones you're seeing in front of you. You know, the ones that you see Kerrigan and Daron Payne and Dwayne Haskins wearing, all of those are, for the most part, the bright, lush burgundy that we've come accustomed to with this football team. That jersey in the middle that Dwayne is sporting, that looks more like the throwback dark burgundy color. You know, and I'm not even talking, you know, you could easily, you know, equate it to the homecoming game that they have every year, that burgundy, and it's more along the lines of that. But in that particular picture, that looks a little bit along the lines of that 2001 75th anniversary burgundy jersey, if you recall what that looked like, which to me are my favorite Redskin uniforms of all time. But, you know, with Darryl Green and LeVar Arrington, those uniforms are absolutely ridiculous. Nonetheless, that it looks that kind of dark to me. Maybe that's a little too dark. Maybe it's more along the lines of the homecoming uniforms that they wear every year. But that's the real question: is the burgundy going to be the same burgundy that we've seen with this team over the years, the customary burgundy, or is it going to be a little bit darker? Because that prototype looks darker, but you know, I have a hard time believing that they're going to tweak the uniform colors at all, if any at all. I think it's going to be much of the same status quo. Instead of it saying Redskins, it's going to say Washington. And I think you see the little Nike check on the prototype and all of that stuff. Maybe it's a little bit different. They got a yellow Nike check on the front, which hasn't been there before. Just little subtle tweaks. So that'll be interesting to see. But if you haven't seen it, there it is. That's what the new uniform supposedly looks like. I want to hear what you guys have to say about it. Give me all of your comments down in the comment section. Be interested to see what they look like. And, I can't envision them looking too much different than the ones we've come accustomed to, but I could be wrong. And this is part of the rebrand, because they said if these uniforms go over well, they may just keep them the way they are with slight tweaks. And I think the biggest tweak that you'll see is that they'll remove the numbers from the helmet and insert new logo. I think that's the gist of the change that you may see. And maybe there's a slight tweak to maybe putting a picture of the logo somewhere in a small picture on the front of the jersey, where the NFL shield is or something like that. Or maybe instead of it saying Washington, it'll say Red Wolves or whatever the new nickname is. It won't be too many changes there. So like I said, very interesting to see what they decide to do. But this is what they've put up on the team website, and this is what has been making its rounds around social media. What do you guys think? So we get back to the super chat. Thank you for the super chat, DMV Pride. I like the numbers on the side of the helmet as well. We are not the only team to be sporting numbers on the side of the helmets. If you recall, the Chargers changed their uniforms this year. Part of their rebranding is the numbers on the side of their helmets. They're going kind of back to their AFL roots, where they had their numbers on their helmet back in the day. And so we'll be one of two teams with numbers on the side of our helmets. So we'll see how that look goes for both of those clubs. But I, like you, have no problems with the numbers on the side of the helmet. And I wonder if they're going to go to more of a matte look for the helmet color, or is it going to be, that shiny look that we've seen from this team in the past. That matte look is more of what you get when we do the throwbacks on the homecoming games. And that's not a shiny helmet. It's that matte look that kind of looks kind of smooth. So are they going to go with that look, or are they going to keep the helmets shiny and glossy? We'll see. That's another question that I have as well. Thank you for the super chat, DMV Pride 10. And I'm glad that the front office is taking their time with this process, not to be rushed at all. This is not something that you rush.
Louie T Network.